Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Oh boy. Okay. All right. We triggered Miss Cheska Lee. Oh, is she triggered and bothered? Um, I'm gonna approach this at maybe a different angle than many of you would expect. I know the brother came into my comments earlier. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he want to be called out right now, but or have his name said right now. But he told me she was on him, and she did kind of humble brag about having that video taken down, where the brother spoke about her and her once upon a time interracial marriage to the white man, um, and you know Jessica Lee is speaking about her journey from Mount Kilimanjaro, and yeah. So I'll say this: Jessica Lee, this is black men's everyday. Um, how you feel about being indicted for your past and being with someone outside the black community and having that held against you because clearly that's how you feel. This is black men's every day, and we don't even have to be dating outside the race. We're treated like that for being with light skinned black women, right? And, I think, see, this is much of the issue, particularly on the left, but you see this in some of these type of conversations where, like, you add so much sauce, right, to the steak that you ruin it. You add so much sauce to the steak that you ruin it. Number one, you're labeling people incels that oftentimes aren't incels. We don't do that over here. We don't really have incels on this side of the black manosphere that way. That's not our space. But I understand it being like this kind of paint, broad brush, insult for men, or manosphere talk, black manosphere speak. So like y'all really think this incel thing sticks like we're still back in 2021 or 2020 and you could just label random men who you disagree with and their views on relationship dynamics, you could just label them incels as a pejorative. I just want you to know those same guys voted in Trump. Yeah, that part. You might want to stop doing that, but okay, fine. Number one. Number two, Jessica Lee, you added in colorism talk as if what? Who said anything about your skin tone? You spoke about your success. Who said anything about wait? So we're making fun of you because you're successful as a black woman? You think we don't want you to be a successful black woman? What are you talking about? Like y'all added way too much sauce to the thing. Cheska Lee, much of the issue that black men have with black women like you, and I personally can understand your journey back from white, Mount Kilimanjaro. I can understand, and you made yourself very clear about your upbringing and about the confluence of things that got you to where you were to be married to said white man. But Cheska Lee, the grace that I'm extending you right now is often, like almost never, extended to black men who not only date outside the race to white women, but date any non-black women, even sometimes black women who might be of lighter skin tone or who might be racially ambiguous. How I'm speaking right now is not granted to black men. This grace isn't granted to black men. Cheska Lee, black men are tired of hearing excuses from black women on how y'all ended up getting pogo sticked in by white men. Huh? Cheska Lee, I listened to you speak and I can appreciate your angle. I get what you're saying. I don't indict you for that. With that said, with that said, it's real convenient that women of color keep on doing this thing when it comes to white men in particular. And ooh, what a coinky dink! White men just happen to be the richest, most influential group of people in America, namely on planet Earth. Huh. What a coinkydink. Huh? Listening to Cheska Lee, first, you have to appreciate the difference between black men and white men. You said you're dating a black man. Here's a little pointer. Black men are natural sociologists because we have to be, number one. Number two, when you speak of not being bothered, Cheska Lee, it is written all over your face. No pun intended. You are triggered and bothered. Understandably so. Huh? You are triggered and bothered. If y'all click the links in my description box, the first song I had to hit y'all with a little Haitian compa music. Sweet Mickey, yes, that's a former president of of Haiti. Also, yes, that Sweet Mickey. Yes, that's his actual performance name. That's not his actual name, but that's his performance name. Yes, the hook is really I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't give a ish. Yes, that is the hook of the song. I didn't link the entire song because it's like almost 9 minutes long. So I played this. I had this clip. I found this clip and I put it in the description box. Second song is Duck Deuce. Um, yeah, just say that, right? Featuring Glorilla. Okay, fine. For original videos is obviously the video of Cheska Lee speaking on the brother. Second and third are about Omarion and how unbothered he is, and just this zen that you see from him, even the way he speaks. Cheska Lee, you ain't sound nothing like that. Cheska Lee, you sounded nothing like that because you're triggered and bothered, and it's understandable because it's coming off not fair that you couldn't have fallen in and out of love with a white man and not be indicted with this and have this held over you for someone you divorced 6 years ago. And it's understandable. Unfortunately, black men aren't extended this type of grace. Huh? Number one. Number two, Jessica Lee, you yourself was saying how you would be approached and people would love to see you and your husband and they would be speaking about mixed kids. I saw that video you posted however long ago that was. Huh? Jessica Lee, you trying to tell me the whole time you was with your white husband, no black woman ever approached you on some this is goals, this is couples goals? Huh? Proto swirlers, proto divestors weren't talking to you like that? Or did you just ignore it at the time? Huh? Jessica Lee, you don't really appreciate how we got here, do you? Huh? You don't appreciate how we got here. Okay, you're with the black man and he thinks we're lame also. Jessica Lee, the black manosphere already appreciates that most men are blue pill. You know how we know? Because y'all divorced them at like 70 to 80%. Uh-oh. Women, including black women, divorced men in America, file for divorce, better yet, excuse me, at 70 to 80%. We already know these men don't wake up until they're in divorce court. That's one of my taglines on this channel. When men end up with wayward women that we could see, oh yeah, you won't be in divorce court. That's one of Mr. Z's taglines on this channel. See you in divorce court. So you telling us about your black boyfriend or the black guy you're dating currently and he thinks we're lame or he thinks we're weird or he sees us as incels, whatever pejorative you want to use, that means nothing to us. That sounds nice. Number three, Z is in a whole relationship. Yes, with a loving woman. Yes, she knows about my channel. No, she doesn't have an inferiority complex. Huh? and all the other pejoratives y'all like to put on women that, and black women in specific, that don't agree with much of the way some of you sisters sound. But anyway, right? You know, it triggered Z seeing Cheska Lee triggered, and then doing the fake ass Omarion unbothered thing. That's why I put the links in the description, because I kept on describing this Omarion unbothered thing. And for those uninitiated, y'all don't really understand what Mr. Z was saying or appreciate it. So I put once again, the links are in the description box under original videos. It's the second and third link, right? Dude, former essentially bandmate, was sleeping with his ex, and he was so unbothered. And from that point on, people just see Omarion as just so unbothered, and he leaned into it. On top of that, huh? So listening to Jessica Lee speak, I get it. I appreciate it. And there is a conversation to be had about black women on their journey back from Guadalajara, particularly the ones that never said anything particularly antagonistic or misandrous about black men. They just ended up with a white dude. It didn't work out. Yeah, they had all type of weirdo, messed up views of white men and relationships and intimacy, and it didn't work out. And now they're on their journey back, and who will take them on? Uh-oh. And yes, there's a conversation to be had about white, excuse me, huh, Freudian slip myself, black women after failed interracial relationships with white men who then call themselves queer and consider interracial relationships with white women. That's another conversation to be had because, and I'm not saying this is your case necessarily, Cheskali, but this is something that we've seen a few times in the black community is black women who fail with white men and then end up not dating black women, not dating black men, but end up dating white women. Oh boy. Once again, not saying that's your story, but failing with white men and calling yourself queer, now that we've seen a few times in the black community with black women. Failed relationships, divorce with white men, now you call yourself queer, now we might see you dating white women. Not black men, not even Latinos or Asians. No, white men, excuse me, white women in specific. Oh boy. Once again, Cheska Lee, we ain't saying that's your story, but maybe. Well, you did say you're dating a black man, so. Huh? No, I don't think it's a response to me, Jake. And Jake says, Z, I just got in. I seen her little video. Is this a response to you? No. The brother is in my comments right now who is a response to, right? So I'm I'm making this for the, and y'all know I usually spell it out, but I'm just saying the word today. Um, for the incel um pejorative that she threw out there, the incel insult, we'll say, that Miss Cheska Lee threw out there. Um, the idea that we don't like to see successful black women. Look, Cheska Lee, half the reason why there is a black manosphere is because of those type of tropes. Huh? For those type of tropes, the idea that black men, including black men in the black manosphere, in spaces like this, are number one incels. Number two, don't want to see successful black women. Number three, and I heard you with the colorist talk. Oh boy, don't like to see successful dark skinned black women and don't like to see black women win and don't black women, Cheska Lee, you can't levy white feminist attacks on black men. It just don't fit. The black community got a whole different dynamic going on. It's old, it's tired, it's wrong, it's false faux facts. Huh? Let me get this right. Who many sociologists would say are the most egalitarian men in America. Based off of our voting numbers, we're the most liberal and progressive men in America, black men. Black men vote better for women rights oftentimes than even white women do. And we're to believe that black men, including black men in the black manosphere, are intimidated by successful black women, particularly successful dark skinned black women. Jessica Lee, let me expose myself a little bit. Half the reason why I used to watch you years ago is because I found you attractive. What the hell are you talking about, lady? Dreadhead Jessica Lee? Slim dreadhead Jessica Lee? What are you talking about? Huh? Because black men in these spaces don't want to see women like you win. Oh boy. Huh? This is some weird. These white feminist tropes, black women, please, for the love of God. They're intimidated by our success. They have an issue with dark skinned black women, and they want to see us fail. And what? Huh? What are you talking about? Hey, Compassion, let me ask you a question. Are you available right now? Because I might ask you to do me a solid real quick. Right. And shout out to Compassion. He in the comments right now. Right? Wow. Oh, you are? Okay. I'm gonna send you this if you don't mind, because it's only 4 minutes long, so I'm gonna keep you too long. Um, give me a second. Let me see. Give me 1 second. And son told me to call you too, and I did it. That's my bad. That's my bad. Give me a second. All right, I just sent you something if you don't mind. Just you'll see. Is he gonna do a panel? Look, nah, not tonight. Nope, nope, can't do it. Right? Exactly. DJ CNC, DJ Compassionate Caliph. Right? Wow. Black Guru, I even gotta highlight it. Jesus. Hey, that's a whole conversation to be had. Right? That I thought about it too, Black Uru. Yeah, that's a whole conversation to be had. Mm. Once again, I think oftentimes these people are in their bubbles. They say things, they do things that they feel is just living their life, but is in many ways listening to her speak just oozes bubble, right? Like you don't really appreciate what you're saying. First, you're calling black men in the black manosphere incels when incel has a very, very specific okay, give me a second. Um right? When incel has a very, very specific meaning, right? It's involuntary celibate. But people like you, Miss Cheska Lee, have expanded that word so much to mean any man who has something different to say that isn't particularly mainstream acceptable about man woman dynamics currently, no matter how true it is, mind you, right? So the labeling incel, telling us how much your the black guy you're dating currently, sees us as weirdos or whatever. Yeah, that sound nice. As I said before, guys like random we'll say it, normies opinions of these things really don't matter that much, right? And you said yourself, you don't see yourself ever getting married. You said that I read the comment, right? I read the comment. So yeah, what's going on, compassionate?
What's good, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Check
Yeah.
the screen now.
Okay.
Man, the incels.
Called us damn incels, bro. Well, I know who it was directed to in particular. The brother know who it is, but yeah, I'm bringing it up
I
right
haven't
now.
seen it. It's up. You can add it to the stage if you got. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. There we go. There we go. All right, press play when you're ready. Oh boy, here we go, y'all.
How dare you like yourself and be successful? Ah!
Hey there, YouTube. So last week I posted this video where I talked about how I ended up in an interracial relationship. You can see it linked in the video description box if you haven't checked it out. And right on cue, this loser incel who can't even use his real voice or show his face on camera made a video about me and sent all of his fanboys into my comments saying lots of ignorant, hateful, misogynistic drivel. Now, sadly, I can't link to the video because somehow it got taken down. Just kidding. The haters send me traffic, not the other way around. So why was this guy so upset with my video? Well, first, what is an incel? The term incel is a portmanteau of the words involuntary and celibate. It's defined as a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, and they are typically associated with views that are hostile toward women who are sexually active. Now, you're probably thinking, Francesca,
right there,
how do you know this?
But how many dudes are not getting no vagina right now in the black manosphere?
Exactly.
Like, to see what I'm saying? So you're levying this, number one. Number two, even her intro. You think we're mad that you're successful? Like, these tropes, lady, you realize we're not white, right? Like, you realize, like, these tropes that y'all use, like, yeah, you could paint that broad brush maybe when you're talking about the white dudes, but once you start talking about black men, did the black guy you're dating, did he not tell you, like, this type of thing don't fly over here?
Yeah, they using incel loosely as fuck at this point.
Bruh, like, yeah, no, it just means man with weird views that we don't approve of.
Right. Views controversial to women, essentially. A man with views that may be controversial to women. That's an incel at that point.
Even the misogynistic means showing hatred or prejudice against women or girls, or believing that men are superior to women.
Right.
Black men of all people we're calling misogynistic. You know, the people that are subject to the gynocracy.
The people that Oprah called matriarchal.
Thank you. No, not even just Oprah. Sonny Hostin,
on live
Whoopi Goldberg, literally on camera said, yeah, the black community is pretty matriarchal. Donovan from the Grapevine, let me get this right. Those men that come from that community that vote even more left than white women are misogynistic. Even the ones in the black manosphere, you're saying we're misogynistic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that might not. We can't be misogynistic, at least in practice, because we essentially do the opposite. We're extremely egalitarian, if not
insanely
patriarchal at times.
We're egalitarian to the point where it hurts us.
Yeah.
To the point where women on the other side are saying we ain't built Wakanda and we expect them to go 50-50. Absolutely not. Like, that's how egalitarian. We're so egalitarian that when we hold black women to it, they say, yeah, about that. See, this white patriarchal ideal that I have, though.
Right.
See, this is the problem with women when they're not, like, Cheska Lee's not initiated, so she's saying things, because once again, she's in her bubble, and Cheska Lee been doing pretty good since she put out that things that white people say video for me. I remember that. I remember when she put that thing out, like, damn near what, 50, no, more than that, like, damn near 20 years ago almost.
Yeah, she got 250,000. She's definitely doing good.
They paying. She interviewed, wasn't it her that interviewed Michelle? I want to say Cheska Lee interviewed Michelle years ago. Yeah.
Definitely was.
So Bruh. So you in your bubble, right? A brother made a video about you and the white dude because we understand oftentimes how y'all get there. Thank you for saying how you got there. Yeah, it's a little different, but for a lot of sisters, it's just straight up misandry against black men. It's middle finger to black men,
Hmm.
right? And even you said to a certain extent, you had a different type of upbringing, a different type of view. You got negged by one black dude in college. You said, "To hell with this," and your words. And so
Yeah.
a brother makes a video about it, and you get excuse me, the video taken down, and then you make this doing your fake ass Omarion unbothered thing, as if we're not black, like we can't smell. Oh yeah, that's a bothered ass black woman right there.
Hmm.
Go ahead and play. Go ahead and press play.
Before I go on though,
Go
what
ahead.
immediately stood out was when she said this incel got under my
Yep.
post, but then she said all his incel followers.
Yep.
So it's like it's like you empowering the incel has the power to have a bunch of online followers of his that I think that's what she called them.
Yep.
He's an incel. It's weird. It's a weird. Again, they're using incel loosely as fuck, but I'll play it.
It's trigger words for other women along this same line.
Yeah, yeah.
Other black women that have a similar upbringing or background to her, maybe some of their white friends, their white female friends. So the incel word, and just even the way she framed this entire conversation, it's to gather the troops, right? It's time to defend. It's time to defend one of us, and it's like, we're not really attacking you. We're stating, a lot of sisters like y'all end up with and even you were saying that, like, y'all end up with these white dudes, and by the time you come to your wake up to being black, it's like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes the trigger to that wake up is the breakup with the white guy, is the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
If black women feel a certain way about black men with non-black women, what you think we on? Huh?
Exactly.
You said one black guy in a college negged you. I'm assuming other brothers might have been, oh, you sounded white. You said that. Okay, fine. And that alone, so you end up with the white husband, and we can't speak about that, quote unquote, as the black community. Man, if y'all don't get out of here,
yeah,
with this sharp shoeing when it comes to black women, absolutely not.
And they use that. If that's her story, she's clearly using. She's conflating some guy that turned her down to basically justify dating out in her mind, essentially. Like,
which is okay if you dated out. If you clearly you were
absolutely married. I think that's the only thing you tell a person like this.
Yep.
Please date out.
Yeah, you were married out. Y'all end up getting divorced. Y'all didn't have children. Fine. Now you're dating a brother. Cool. All that fine. But this whole levying incel, this whole fake ass unbothered, this whole calling random brothers losers, using the word incel where it doesn't apply and it's inappropriate. This, I don't know, right? So that's why I'm covering this, right? And I understood why a couple of people were wondering, was this directed towards me, because I just spoke about her the other night, and I was like, nah, I know who it is. The brother know who it is, who it's directed to. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead and push it.
This guy is an incel. Well, I maintain that anybody that has the time to make a 10-minute slideshow about a stranger's dating history probably isn't getting laid on a consistent basis.
Pause right there real quick. Pause right there real quick.
Wait, what?
Wait. If you're getting on that brother for the 10-minute slideshow about you, exactly. I did damn near 2 hours, and I'm in a whole relationship. And Mr. Z works a whole lot.
You can't. I mean, she's a YouTuber saying that somebody's
bro,
and it's an instinct. Like, chill out, lady. You're definitely triggered.
Bruh, stop it, man. Stop it. Look.
Up and down that I'm washed up, unsuccessful, and nobody wants me, and yet they're writing fan fiction about my dating history and someone I divorced 6 years ago. It's giving fan. He a fan. It's embarrassing. Honestly, are you not embarrassed?
Suburban now, black girls, when they do this, really,
who live active, healthy, and fulfilled lives are not wasting their time worrying about who a stranger is or isn't dating. Is the relationship between consenting adults?
Pause. That's not true. We're human beings. So you know what human beings do? They do a whole lot of adult stuff, and yes, they play in the dirt sometimes too. They do gossip. They
Exactly.
do talk about it, especially in the black community. We do speak about who's with who. You want to know why? Because going back to the plantation, who's piping who got people hung.
Mm,
Uh-oh.
mm.
During Jim Crow, who's piping who got whole revolutions stopped dead in their tracks. Emphasis on the word dead. You want to know why we care about who's piping who and who's having sex with who in the black community and outside of it? Because oftentimes who you having sex with and who you pillow talking to, that's if you could talk, matters. It matters. Miss me with this talk coming from black people, namely black women, that love is love and you can't help who you love. And why should it matter who I'm having sex with? And why should it matter who I'm with? Lady, are you serious right now? Is this coming from the same sex and gender that is attempting to micromanage what black men do with their genitals and who they do it with?
Right.
I know this ain't coming from the same sex and gender that's all on that. Because I can appreciate it if black women say, hey, who you have sex with, black men, who you marry to, black men, does affect us as the black community. All right, fine, but that's a two-way street. So yes, Cheska Lee, who you were married to at one point, okay, fine, y'all been divorced for 6 years. Yes, it does matter.
I mean, that's
You
your
don't get to play it
history.
off.
That's your
Thank you,
dating
go ahead.
history. How is that
Thank
not?
you.
How is
No,
that not
that's your
relevant?
marriage. They were married. That's your
Also-
marriage history.
Right.
That's even
Exactly. That's even more concrete.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You can't. It's a false premise to pretend that's not up for discussion. I mean,
Say that.
it's your relationship. You're a public figure. You're a YouTuber. Hey,
You interviewed Michelle Obama, lady. You think you don't matter? You don't
Right.
think this matters? I'm just saying. All right, go ahead, compassionate.
Adults,
Just saying.
does your partner treat you well? Are you happy? Then great. Now, the comments that were left on this video were weird. My favorite, hands down, was this guy that swore up and down that he could tell that I was a bed wench because of my septum ring, except I don't have a septum ring. It's like he heard white ex-husband and completely like rage stroked out and started fantasizing about my face.
This
It's
was
also
actually
funny
funny
to
to
me
me.
when these guys swear that I'm unattractive as if their opinion
Pause.
matters to me.
Our opinion does matter to you. Listen, black woman, black. I don't. Do you think you're talking to your white ex-husband? It'd be the funniest thing in the world when black women say, I'm not bothered. Ah! Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yes, Omarion, we heard you. We heard you.
Video. I'm not bothered.
Yeah. I said it. I said it earlier. Jessica Lee being triggered Z. You know what that is? That's the self-awareness. That's Z admitting, you know what, I saw this from Jessica Lee, and it really didn't have nothing to do with me outside of me being part of the Black Manosphere, and me saying, you know what, I'm still going to respond to this. First, for the incel insult. Secondly, for the fake ass Omarion, I'm not bothered. Third, for her saying that brothers over here thought she was unattractive. I literally bought you up like a couple months ago. Right? Like, what are you talking about? She's over here saying, you know, brothers over here raging when they see her and just throwing out these stereotypes. Ma'am, you literally did the same thing. Like you're doing it right now. Like this video that we're watching right now, like you're doing it right now.
Literally.
Right? Like, bruh, look, hey, y'all gonna have to contend with us. Check them voting numbers. I'm just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, look, you're insecure, you have bad time management and bad taste. If you don't think I'm attractive, I'm taking it as a compliment. And of course, there were the guys that swore up and down that my white ex-husband or the fact that I'm queer means that I hate all black men. When I
don't
very
know, you did call
obviously
yourself
said,
queer.
I'm not saying that this is my experience with every black man. I have dated some black dudes recently. I also said that I've dated a number of black dudes, and apparently the word dudes really triggered y'all. So let me be clear. I am currently dating a black man, and spoiler alert, he thinks y'all are losers too. Here's the thing. I used to get really upset when strangers on the
Wow.
Bruh. Once again, Jessica Lee. These dudes don't know what the hell is going on until black women park them in divorce court. Until they sit in divorce court, they could call us all the losers they want, and then they're sitting in divorce court, and we looking at them like, bro, hey, bro, we tried to tell you, bro. Hey, what now? We losers now? We be trying to tell y'all.
She's
Huh?
really triggered though, bro. Like
Yeah,
this,
no, she
that
really,
was
no,
the
she's bothered. It
lamest.
bothered her.
That was the lamest. The fact that you resort to invoking your boyfriend's opinion is like, shorty, you're super bothered,
bruh.
What was the comment? Did she say what
on
the comment
100.
was? Oh, she deleted it.
No. I'll put the brother's name in the back, but he covered. You know whose channel I'm talking about. He covered her. I don't want to say his name just in case, right? But he said it a couple of times in the comments. He's here, right? And he covered her, and yeah, and so she caught it, and yeah. So and look at what Charles said. Looks damn good for 40 something. She's cute.
Yeah.
She looked even better when she was young. Just Dreadhead Jessica Lee was a little cutie. But once again, how much does that matter when you keep on saying the things that you're saying and you're queer, bruh? Black women in this queer talk, bro. Black women in this goddamn queer talk, man. Shout out to the black dude you're dating. All right, player.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, this is what we're saying. Y'all hear these women say things and y'all think it don't mean anything. First of all, she's saying partner, and then calling herself queer. All right. But, hey, the warning is there, but it is what it is. Yeah. But like I'm saying, 40. Yeah, no, go ahead. You go.
Hateful, untrue things about me, and now I just don't care. And that is one of the beautiful things about being in my 40s. I really know who I am, and for that reason, there are some people that are never going to like me, and I just have to be okay with that. The reality is, I'm not special. The incel in question has an entire channel dedicated to lambasting women that don't even know he exists. These guys will go after any woman that they see that is happy and successful, especially if she has any sliver of success that they think that they are.
Stop. Jesus Christ.
Really?
Those are the metrics that you need to check off for the quote unquote for these type of incels to go. Jessica Lee, stop. We're not looking up black women and be like, hey, she's in the top quintile of tax bracket. She's successful and happy. She lives in the burbs. She's driving an expensive car. Let's go after her. Stop. That is not what's going on. The brother in question is often, and what he does often is use these women's own words and say, look at what she said about black people. Look what she said about black men. Look at how she's worshiping white men. Look at how she's worshiping white men. Say it again, Z, one more time for the people in the back. Look how she's worshiping white men.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica Lee, you don't get to play dumb.
It triggered her then. Yeah, she probably binge watched a lot of bro shit.
Yeah, she watched a bunch of his stuff, and the way she framed it is that he's just talking about random black women. No, these women have a messed up situations oftentimes with the white dudes that they put themselves in because of white male worship. They often say anti-black misandrous things about black men, go chasing, say that again, Z, chasing after white men, failing, and this brother covers that. And you framed it like he's just saying on these women because they're successful in being happy. Jessica Lee, we're not white. You realize that, right? We're not white.
This the
you
story
can't frame this thing this way. Go ahead. Right.
This the story she sells to white people at a brunch.
The white liberal women. Yeah, this is exactly. I agree. Yeah. I agree. BS. Go ahead. You can play.
Entitled to. And don't you dare be a woman that bucks the status quo. If you're fat, if you have natural hair, if you're queer, if you're dark skinned,
pause. Oh my God.
Being fat and dark skinned bucks the status quo.
First of all, who's marrying fatter women than black men are?
Exactly.
Damn, who's dating fat black women other than black men? Where are all the white dudes chasing that? I'm not saying because I have seen a couple of white dudes with some fat black women, but where are all the white guys and Latino guys and Asian guys chasing after the fat black women? Huh? Number one. Number two, Who's marrying black women like that other than black men? Number three, y'all need to get out of this BS crap. First of all, Jessica Lee, like a brother said in the comments, you ain't even that dark. Stop. Number one. Number two, this idea that non-black men or anybody outside of black men is chasing after dark-skinned black women. These people often come from communities that are already colorist as hell, and then they're gonna chase after dark-skinned black women or validate dark-skinned black women's beauty. Stop. What are you, Jessica Lee? This is like really disappointing because I like Jessica Lee. This is disappointing.
Yeah, it's borderline pathetic.
Yeah,
borderline.
She got triggered. She got triggered. She got triggered, and I get it because she feels like she had to double back on her blackness, her own sentiment. She had to double back on her blackness. She got kicked on her ass from the white man, so she's on her journey back from Mount Kilimanjaro. And for her, what I'm seeing from her is it's not fair that y'all are hitting me with this. I'm not one of those. And okay, fine, you're not one of those. But look at how you're framing this, though.
Mm-hmm. She's 100% one of those.
Yeah, she's triggered. She's triggered like a bug. Yeah. Go ahead.
Be successful. Ah!
Our happiness is a threat to insecure, mediocre men who've been promised the world and are shocked to learn that the bare minimum just doesn't work with some of us.
Pause right there.
So
Jesus Christ, compassionate. Jesus Christ, ma'am, this is the most white. Thank you. We both. You did not hit us with the white female trope. That's if that's not the most white feminist trope. Let me get this right, Jessica Lee. You think black men felt like they were promised the world?
Right. You were told you were going to get the world.
Thank you. You think black men, Jessica Lee, see, this is the problem. You're in your bubble. You think black men, Jessica Lee, black men felt like they were promised the world.
But see that reveals it right there. Z. She doesn't honestly think that because she can't. She's actually, like you said, regurgitating a white
feminist talking points.
And again, she's aware of this. She's using even the incels.
She's using their trigger words.
Yes, this is all their trigger. I guess maybe is she conscious of her white audience if she has any?
Yep.
I'm sure she does.
Definitely.
So she's conscious. She's speaking like she's speaking in the company of white.
This is, you know what this is? This is Kim Foster.
It's 100% carbon copy.
This is Kim Foster, and I'm not putting them in the exact same lane because Jessica Lee is not as antagonistic. She, as a matter of fact, I don't even think she's definitely coming from that lane, this video. But that's not even where she usually is coming from. But what she's doing here is using a very specific type of language for a very specific type of audience. It's to garner very specific support. And it's from black women that have the similar upbringing to her, and definitely white feminist women.
Yes.
And this is the same thing. Kim Foster is a master at this. This the same way she speaks. It's the same way she moves. Yes. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been disappointed on Jessica Lee. I'm not even gonna lie, because I think she could have went about this a different way. And I actually would have thought that she would have went about this a different way. These tropes that she's, and Jessica Lee, this is the issue. Jessica Lee, it's black men get triggered by black women all the time. The trope that you're pulling on is this appeal to a very specific type of white audience and white group of people to do what with black men for you. When we're having an internal community conversation, you have an issue with the black man in the black community. But the words you're using is very, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's actually more intersectional feminist. It's from that standpoint, because I guess you could frame intersectional feminism frames men as they are positioned in a state of privilege.
Yes, so all men, by the way.
That's the language she's really using, a framework, an intersectional feminist framework, mixed in with some white people talk.
Yeah,
with the incel and
Yeah, so Black Uru says, I think this is kind of where you're going, which is, but this is the only way she knows to be a black woman. This
Mm.
suburbanized black feminism, where you have to create and market oppression you have never actually experienced or even seen.
And it's not
Oof,
just that. Is that because I was just
oof,
having this conversation
yeah,
with my fiance earlier. Her
mhm,
father told her when she was very young she was a double minority and she was gonna
yeah,
have to work twice as hard,
yep,
like she was
yep, yep,
like an early teen.
mhm.
So they are actually, this is the only worldview, like you said, even like what Uru just said, like even
Yep.
if they don't actually experience it, they're told. Her father told her.
It's almost living vicariously through the women that are actually going
Yes,
through something. Yeah.
yes. Well, intersectional feminism says by default, especially if you're a dark-skinned,
Hmm.
traditionally black, traditionally aesthetic black woman, you're
Hmm.
at the intersection of race, class, and sex. So even if you're in the suburbs living a pretty good life,
Yep.
you're still at the intersection of race, class, as far as that the audio Kimberly
And,
Crenshaw
and
said tells you.
here's what that does, and this is why we speak about social dominance order over here. That completely destroys any ground black men are on and black boys are on, because they are given some privilege that they don't actually have,
Mm-hmm.
in a position in society that they don't actually
Yes,
occupy. So when they don't quote unquote perform essentially like elite white men,
it's doubly
then
bad.
they are labeled defective because
Yeah,
you're privileged, you're a man,
yes, that's the entire premise most black women operate under, which is why
right?
when they hear us speak, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, because you're a man, and as a matter of fact, Paris Milan said it once, right? You're a man. You don't. What's the issue here, right?
Jesus
It's
Christ,
not you're a black man, and we understand and appreciate how
the nuance.
anti-blackness affects you exactly, and how even okay, fine, white patriarchy oppresses you. We understand social dominance order, but that gets in the way of
But
intersectionality. That
when,
doesn't
but
it?
when you're like, I'm sure this girl went to a PWI,
Oh yeah, she said it. Yeah, she did. She did.
and
She did.
the other girl, the Harvard girl.
Oh yeah, yeah. She
Like
yep.
imagine
Kim
it's
Cluster. Yep.
going to those schools, sitting in those classes with the white feminists teaching about feminism, intersectional
Yep.
theory, and standpoint theory, and white patriarchy in Harvard or PWI.
Yeah.
You're
Yep. Yep.
these girls just sat there and absorbed this and mapped this shit onto
Yeah.
their own culture with the help of Kimberly Crenshaw because
And by
she's,
the way,
yeah,
both of these women are privileged, and their upbringing is
you,
very, very nice compared to your average black person. Definitely your average young black man
yeah,
or
affluent,
black man.
right, right. So
So you
yeah,
have
yeah, double
women
backing on
who
their
are
blackness is a good term too.
yeah, but that's what ends up happening, and their hook to other black women is being a black woman, not their class position, not
Mm,
how they adopt a worldview that actually hurts your average black woman, because Cheska Lee can manage to live the rest of her life unpartnered, right? Because she's doing well financially. The same thing with Kim Foster. And they sell that type of trope to other black women in specific who can't actually afford that.
because they're not considering the class element
They're not.
or don't
Because
care.
in their mind, I'm a black woman, so my class is with other black women who are $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year, 35,000. I'm with them simply because I'm a black woman. Now let me go buy this $12, 15, $20 coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it, and I get it. Like I said, Mr. Z, you of all people, yes, I'm actually a little disappointed in Jessica Lee. I thought she would have came at this from a little different angle, but I understand when we're triggered and when we're in a state of emotion. I'm not doing the whole emotional woman thing, but we say things and we do things that maybe with a clearer mind we might have went a different direction or went about something a bit different. I can appreciate why she's triggered.
Yeah.
With that, you're putting once again, you're putting way too much sauce on the steak. It don't even taste good no more.
Which she's just kind of demonstrating, because this clearly was a trigger point, a soft point,
Yeah.
to get her to
Yep.
kind of crash out like this,
Yep.
and not really have a real coherent, she's not getting to, she didn't use this as a point to make a greater point. She's actually harping on the reaction to the video, which is
Yeah,
about
because
her.
it triggered her. Yeah,
which is
and
about her dating white men or
yeah,
marrying a white man.
yeah.
So
Yes.
the fact that triggers her this way, and she's at this stature, and she's experienced in this, in this market, proves essentially the racial hypergamy, and basically proves what we're talking about is actually true, because is this sensitive just to people commenting, a so-called incel commenting on her soirees or her marriage to a white man and its failure, and what that means, and how she looks really, really matters to her.
You know the way this is what I'm seeing. This is what I think she feels. She feels the walk of shame on a military base. That's what it looks like. From outside as a black man looking at her and the way she's like, don't judge me. I tried to make a play. I really was in love. Or and it's the walk of shame that certain women make in the morning coming from the other private's room. Right? Emphasis on the word private. But I'm just saying, like it's don't judge me. I shouldn't be held to any type of and even when she covered this a few days ago, I understood what she was saying. Like, I appreciate it. It's the same thing that one of the sisters I have in my video said. Like, we have as she said, between respectability politics, between my upbringing, between the PWIs, between supposedly what she said, the negging from black men. I end up being with my white husband. Okay, fine, cool. But can black men not critique that? Can we not say there's a there? Can we not say, hey, we've spent an inordinate amount of time in the black community speaking about black men in intimate relationship with white women specifically, right? Can we never speak about black women with white men and how that ends up happening often? Especially with modern technology, with social media, with the internet, and for the past decade and a half ish, black women being so blatant about how this is really not about love, it's really about status, it's really about what white men can do for them and other women of color, to be frank. So to Cheska Lee, I would say, can we never speak about this or critique this? And maybe you might get your toes rolled over a little bit. Right? Maybe you might feel uncomfortable. Maybe it might be hot in the kitchen. Right? Can we never critique how black women oftentimes end up in those interracial marriages that you and your white husband didn't last in? And you even admit certain things that we say over here, the uncomfortable truth that maybe when you were with your white husband, you wouldn't accept, that now you're saying yourself? Can we not speak about it until the black women are ready to speak about it? So we got to wait for y'all, is what you're saying.
Basically. Yeah.
Right?
Or you're an incel.
Thank you. We're incels because it's uncomfortable speaking about black women from the burbs, from the hood, from rural areas, right? Metropolitan areas who end up with non-black men. And when we start digging deep, or when we start, well, maybe not digging deep, he's doing that, maybe not. Right? When we start asking the questions or investigating how we got here, it starts not just being love is love and you can't help who you love and who you find attractive, and the heart wants what it wants, and it's not just that. Once we start questioning things, all of that, the heart wants what it wants, falls apart. That's when racial hypergamy pops its ugly head up.
Or the dating.
I'm just saying, Cheska Lee, thank you. The dating divide.
That's really what said it. Yeah, the heart.
So
wants yeah, fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's the most fascinating thing in the world is listening to people, women of color in particular. Once the white man walk in the room, the way women of color start copping, please.
Yeah.
The way they start, all of a sudden, Systems of oppression don't matter anymore. Hierarchy of oppression don't matter anymore. Racism is not real anymore. White male power doesn't matter. White male power only matters outside of intimacy, apparently. Outside of sex, outside of interracial relationships, situationships, sex. White male power is a problem right up until we start talking like about that. Uh-oh. Just saying, though. You know, Jessica Lee, I mean, I get it. I definitely could understand if I was with a white woman and then I'm walking back from Whitelandia because me and her failed and she didn't, you know, she done took half my stuff
And you wind up back in the community.
and I wind up back in the community, right? And black women are laughing at me. I would be triggered too. Oh, wait a minute, Z. That's a normal Wednesday for half these brothers that dated non-black women. Oops.
Exactly.
Huh? That's a normal Tuesday. Right?
Mm.
Just saying, let's not pretend like before Sierra, these was laughing at Russell Wilson with the white ex-wife. I'm just saying. Anyway, before the Sierra prayer, anyway, you can play the last little bit of whatever she said.
Incels, in my comments, I say thank you for the traffic, and I leave you with a quote from my friend Crystal West. The only thing you and I have in common is we're both worrying about what I'm doing.
You're right. And we're black. Oh, that
So
part.
she really
That's
did.
the most important
My
part.
septum ring.
Wow.
Right.
She really
Yeah.
did have a point then.
Yeah. That's the most important part of this that we're all black, and yes, who you have sex with and who you marry is political. It does matter. So if you're saying the thing that we have in common is that we're both talking about you, yeah, you're right. And was that supposed to be a flex?
Right.
You're a public figure. You're a public black figure. You of all people understand the responsibility that holds. And so, yes, who you were married to does matter. It does matter. By evidence of the people you said years ago that were approaching you about you and your husband, and they can't wait for y'all to have mixed, cute babies. You said that.
Wow.
Yeah, this is forever ago. This is forever ago. But yeah, I remember that, Jessica Lee. What you thought? Y'all be saying things and then don't really appreciate the weight of your words. Right? And no place where it says Whitelandia is a real place. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? I'm just saying, man. So, like I said, I'm not gonna really go in too much. I ain't gonna keep you too long. Compassionate, thank you. Right? I just wanted to cover this because once again, the incel pejorative, this idea that you could lift the words of white feminists and just one-to-one hit black men upside the head with these tropes of that white women use against white men. It's not the same. Our dynamics are not the same. Number one. Number two, the black community is a matriarchy if you want to be kind, a gynocracy if you want to be accurate. That is not what's going on in white society.
Has she ever
So,
made a directed video reply to somebody from Inner Space?
no, this is the first.
So yeah, some
I tell you. I'll put it in the back. I'll put it in the back chat. Let me put it in the back chat of yeah. What because yeah.
Yeah, because that's not. I'm sure that's not a coincidence with what's been going on this past quarter. So
you see what I just put back there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's
So she didn't found him. Okay.
Yeah. So she went down that rabbit hole, and she
Yep.
was like, "Oh hell no! Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes."
So she made a
and
whole video. Wow. True.
I'm saying, and if you and Cheska Lee, I know you think we're mouth breathing idiots. I get it, misogynistic mouth breathing idiots. But if you go down that brother's channel, you'll see yourself. Some of these sisters is saying the wildest things. Some of these black women are saying the wildest things about black men, and they go uncritiqued. So when you say he's critiquing these women that they don't, or he's saying whatever you said, he's talking about these women who don't even know he exists and they're living their lives and they're happy. Actually, they say some of the most sexist, misandrous things about black men. Or they'll tell you why they're with the white man, and it's some borderline white male worship, not even borderline, white male worship thing as a poke in the eye to black men. Let's be very clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, oh, I just want a white man. No. I'm purposely loudly walking around the black community with a blowhorn saying I want a white man to antagonize black men. So I just want to be clear about that. And if you doubt me, keep on watching his videos and see if I'm wrong.
Well, it sounds like
Just
she
saying.
did, and the take she got from it that these are all successful women.
Nah, she got the take I said. She just ain't say it. She ain't dumb. I've been watching Jessica Lee for years. If she saw some of the videos I saw, she know exactly what I'm saying. She just wasn't gonna frame it that way.
Yeah.
Jessica Lee ain't one of these only see it from a certain angle. No. Yeah, she probably took feminist classes, etc. She's trying to appeal to white feminists with this view. Yeah, she ain't dumb. She know if she's listening to this, or if she does listen to this, even if she didn't have that angle initially, she know I'm not lying. She just won't cover it that way. Don't ever expect these women, outside of a handful of super rare cases, and you never know where it's coming from, to ever say what Z is saying right now. No matter what they watch or read, when they know we're not lying, they still can't. They still can't accept it, and they definitely can't say it, even if they accept it. That okay, damn, some of these sisters are on this. I could understand where the black men are coming from. I could understand how maybe I got roped in with a certain type of black woman that I may not actually be.
No, but I'm in too deep.
Thank you.
I'm in way too deep already, Z. I can't.
My black feminist framing says that I can't do it. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, I would have to ruin so many reputations and retract so much stuff that I said that, is integrity is not necessarily. Again, we in this space, this space is very much highly concerned about integrity and what you say. You're held accountable to it. So, but that's obviously unique to this space. The rest of YouTube don't even. We assume we should understand that integrity is not high up on the content strategy.
In real life, it's not. Let alone
exactly
people on the internet that are often faceless. And I'm not. This in particular is not directed toward Jessica Lee, but yeah. What you're saying about integrity, but people in real life often lack integrity. But like let alone the characters they're playing on the internet.
If she's smart enough to know what's going on, like you said, she knows. She went through his catalog or a little bit of it and understands there's women like this out here in real life. So we're not just lying, but she won't frame it that way. Nope. So that's a lack of integrity. If she's a content creator or journalistic integrity, but again, that don't really exist, like you said, in real life or online, especially. Hey. So that's what it is.
Full facts, yo.
Yeah.
Full facts. false facts. I get you. I look, at the end of the day, I don't know how much of an issue I have with Jessica Lee. I think she stumbled on that brother's video. She was sent something or whatever. She watched it and got triggered. Okay, understandable. And some of her bubble burst. There's no such thing as some of her bubble burst. Her bubble burst. And she responded, but better yet, reacted. And okay, fine.
And so I'm motherfucker too. So she put some time into this. So she did. She sat with it and didn't just say, "Man, fuck this shit" in the middle of it. Yep. She edited and did all, and then dropped it, and then really didn't make no point. She just said, "You left us with that quote." So she was really hurt. She was really, I guess, him going through her dating history triggered her.
Did it?
Yeah, that's what it was.
This, by the way, this is supposed to be a dressing down from someone with class. By the way, I will give her that. Every time I've ever seen Jessica Lee, the way she presents, what was her series on YouTube again? Undecoded, Decode. I can't remember. She had a series on YouTube. I used to watch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right. So every time you see her, I like her take on Thanksgiving, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. So this is what it looks like. By the way, for those of you that have never seen it, this is what it looks like when a black woman with a bit of class to herself try to check you. emphasis on the word try.
SWP would probably like that.
Yeah. No, this is right up his lane. Oh, this is yeah. Jessica Lee is right up his lane. Yeah, they grew up around the way from each other. I bet. No, I'm joking, but I'd be like, this is definitely his type of black woman. Yeah. They come from the same cloth. Yeah. Definitely. Huh? Right. Oh, see, Black Guru found it already. Goddamn, Black Guru on the investigation. And Black Guru says, Z, here's her video where she admits people want her to have pretty mixed babies.
And she was flattered by the shit. Probably blushing and some more shit.
Yes, but she did check it a little bit. If I remember correctly, she did check it a little bit, right? But I don't think she really appreciated at the time exactly where that was coming from, right? And I think that's what often happens with a lot of these people. Like, people will make offhanded comments to them, or they'll even think something, but they don't really appreciate where it's coming from, right?
But let's be honest. Do you think a black woman dating a white man, it really hasn't occurred to her that her children will be mixed, and what, or at least she hasn't contemplated what that means? I mean, I guess we could assume a lot of the racial hypergamy is not.
Do you want me to say it?
Go ahead.
Let me say it compassionate. They want to benefit from their child having the lighter skin and the pretty eyes. They just don't want to be reminded about it, because then it's reminding them how they're benefiting from the hierarchy, and it's too blatant. They want to benefit, they just don't want it to be blatant. They don't want to feel icky about it. They don't want to feel icky about it. So when you're telling them, oh, I can't wait for you and your husband to have pretty mixed babies, you're reminding them about that hierarchy, particularly as a woman like Jessica Lee, okay, she's darker than a brown paper bag. Fine. Okay, fine. But she's not dark, but she's, telling herself that. Okay, fine. You're reminding her of how her children, maybe even that daughter, will benefit from that color hierarchy. Right? So it makes her feel icky, but you're throwing it in her face how she benefits from that relationship with that white man. And she doesn't want to have to think about it like that. It makes her feel icky. And I get it. You see this from a lot of these, and especially from these like feminists. And remember what she was covering. Let's rewind. Let's go all the way back. What she was saying was that it triggered her. No. And she hated the topic, the conversation of why black revolutionaries or black kind of people that are about black liberation often are with white folks. Remember that. That was her original video. So it makes women like her, black women like her, feel icky that I am benefiting from the same white men that I am supposed to be critiquing and criticizing for white male oppression, white male patriarchy, white hegemonic rule on planet Earth, namely America. I'm literally a beneficiary of that.
So her position is that the white man that she ended up marrying don't count, because love, you can't choose who you love.
That's most of their argument.
Basically.
If you go through the comments of that video right now, almost all of them are saying that was my critique last night. It wasn't so much about her, it was about the comments, cop and please. And you see this often on the left in particular. They don't know how to come to terms with, I'm actually benefiting from that white male patriarchy that I'm railing against.
Yeah.
So I gotta say it's about love. It's not about positionality. There's a pun in there, right? I gotta say that because I gotta accept that. I gotta tell myself that to go to sleep at night. I can't accept me and these mixed children that I may or may not have are going to or are benefiting from that white male patriarchy, especially if that white dude is highly educated and if he's earning good money. Everything that I rail against, I'm actively living against that. I rail against system of oppression. I'm with a white heterosexual man, right? I'm saying. And you probably living in the burbs, right? You might live in a gay. Everything you rail against,
and
your life is an active contradiction to that.
Right, I was gonna say You probably call yourself pro-black, and yeah, so
Man,
it's a lot of
maybe or maybe not. A lot more black women are saying I'm pro black woman, and there's a whole other conversation to have about that.
Well, the only reason to get offended at people coming up saying we can't wait for the
Mm-hmm.
mixed babies, if you have some, you identify with blackness in a deeper way than you just being black. So what was I wonder what her pushback was, or how she pushed back against the fact people was walking up to her talking about the mixed babies. Because I think that might just be virtue signaling. That sounds good that you push back against that, but I think more often than not, what babies a woman's gonna have definitely comes into play, even with racial hypergamy. It's not just like, okay, resource grabbing. They considering, and like you said, in this society, the light-skinned baby with pretty eyes will, I guess, in certain ways, definitely have an advantage over not having pretty eyes. So I think that's, if she pushed back against it, it's probably just virtue signaling so it don't sound bad. And she's
it's icky. It make the. I agree with you about that. It might have been because I remember it. I watched it when she first posted it, and so I clicked the link in Black. It's 9 years ago. So I remember. So that means I remember this from 9 years ago. So I don't recall. I don't recall whether I've sensed what you're saying, virtue signaling. It could have been, and I just wasn't paying attention so much to that. But yeah, no, it could have been that. It could have been
I
that.
don't trust none of these black women, intersectional feminists that date white.
Yeah.
They
You
try to
benefit
make
too much from the system that you're supposedly against. Yeah.
They want, and they try to play like white women and act like all bashful. They don't know what's going on, or it's just love. I'm not, but they're super into race and sex and gender and all this other shit. But you can't
because
see
racial hypergamy doesn't exist.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're literally actively living racial hypergamy.
Right.
They love insulted us to our face. And Faber says, but he's different, Z. He's always different. Thank you, bro. Every black feminist that's with the white man is with a different type of white man. They're all with liberal and progressive white men. He's more activist than me. Okay,
he's more pro-black than a black man.
Ain't that the funniest thing in the world? He understands how he benefits from the system and he actively fights against it. Bro, I'd have read that comment or heard it literally so many goddamn times. Oh my god.
Against it, right.
Yeah, that's it. Yawn. Here's the thing, ladies. Listen close. If this white man was so against white male patriarchy, more than likely you wouldn't be with him. Because you wouldn't benefit enough. The game wouldn't be rigged in his favor enough. And maybe he wouldn't have a college degree. Maybe he would have been a McDonald's worker or a factory worker. Would you want him then? Maybe. If he was actively fighting against white male hegemonic rule, the benefits of white male patriarchy, the racial hypergamy that you yourself are probably engaging in, would you actually want him then? I would like to guess probably not.
She just want a different white guy. She want a white guy fighting the systems of oppression
while benefiting from it.
Right.
Right. Landon says, "Compassionate Callus earned a subscriber." Look, we getting you subscribers.
Gratitude.
And let me read this real quick, and we about to end now. Compassionate, I'm trying to keep you too long, because he got work in the morning. And KW Don says, "You can't be about total black liberation and be married to white people. It's oxymoronic. You're waving the white flag literally." This is a debate that black people have been. I want to say, yeah, we knew you couldn't get married to the white people during slavery, but I want to say this idea of black people and white people in interracial sex and coupling, I guess, since the repeal of the anti-miscegenation laws in 67, now marriage. This conversation has been going on since 67. Before 67 actually, but since 67. What does it mean to be about black people while also being married specifically to a white person? to any non-black person, you can say that, but really because of America's history in particular, to a white person, what does it mean to be a black person in America married to a white person? And if you really want to go into it, especially because of Loving versus Virginia was a black woman. I know she considered herself something else. We know what it is. A black woman married to a white man. What does it mean to be 50 some odd years out from Loving versus Virginia and to see that interracial marriage rate between black women, white men be so dismally low? What does that say about the state of black? And you actively have the Sagar and Jenny's of the world. This is not even a white dude. This is a freaking Indian, a child to immigrants Indian, actively saying that the lowering of black enrollees in Ivy Leagues and the skyrocketing of Asians is a good thing. They shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, what does all of this mean for black women? That's a question. And that's what I would ask Cheska Lee. Is it all love? Is it all you can't help who the heart can't help who it falls for? Is it all that in these people own words in a neo-colonial capitalist set white settler state, we're supposed to believe that white male hegemonic rule in America has no bearing on why women of color end up with that guy. That's what we're supposed to believe. All right. Anyway. Yeah, so I see where KW Dot is going with this super chat, and thank you once again, KW Dot, for the super chat. Yeah, yeah, but all right, compassionate. I ain't gonna keep it too long. Thank you very much for the solid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and yeah, because I think people really needed to see that and see some of her facial expression to see, yeah, she was definitely triggered, and that's why I have this song. Yeah, just say that. Right, just say that you triggered. Just say that, and shout out to all my Haitians with the sweet Mickey. Yeah, that's the hook. That's the real hook. Yes, he really does say that on stage. I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't give a ish. Yeah, really, like, it's a Haitian song, but the few English words are really that. It really is, right? So yeah, man, we'll pause right there. So thank y'all for listening, and we'll pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Cheska Lee, if you listening, I still like you, Cheska Lee, but goddamn, yeah, yeah. You stepped on a landmine, Cheska Lee. You stepped on a landmine. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z out.